Hello and welcome to this Clickfunnels review video, which is basically Clickfunnels versus Profit Builder. Okay, now Profit Builder is a brand new WP Profit Builder. It's a brand new plugin that was released by Sean Donahue, who's a pretty big internet marketing person out there. He's very well respected. He has helped release a lot of different WordPress plugins and themes and tools, that are meant to help you with your online business and with WordPress. Now, WP Profit Builder, a lot of people have been marketing it lately as the OptimizePress killer. Okay, so if people don't know what OptimizePress is another WordPress theme / plugin that, like WP Profit Builder and Lead Pages and Clickfunnels, is supposed to help you build landing pages and different types of launch pages and opt-in pages, squeeze pages, etc., etc. Now, just to give you a little bit of back history if you don't know, OptimizePress has been around for the better part of the last 5 to 6 years. The version 2 was released about 2 years ago or a year and a half ago, I can't remember now, where they made the editor very simple to use, and they created a visual editor and all of that sort of stuff. Its value ranges from, I think, from $100 to $300 depending on what license you purchase. Okay, so it can get pretty expensive. WP Profit Builder was just released for $37. There are links down here if you want to check it out and you want to buy it and all of that based on this review. That's fine. It is cheap. Its price is going to go up, probably I would say to at least $60 to $100. And look, it's definitely an interesting plugin, and it comes with a theme as well for free, and it does certainly have some good looking templates and does have potential. However, again, you have to look at the bigger picture, and you have to look at what all the components are that you need in order to build the type of sales funnels that you're wanting to use. And again, Clickfunnels has everything you need. All the other systems tend to require additional functionality, and that's not very different with Profit Builder. Okay, so firstly, let me talk about, before we even get into the editor and everything, Profit Builder is cheap. Okay, let's just say you can still get this for $37. I don't know if the prices have gone up yet because it was a specific launch. Okay, $37, great. One time, not a monthly fee. Perfect. OptimizePress does have an annual fee to it, as Leadfunnels has an annual fee to it, or a renewal fee. Clickfunnels has a renewal fee as well, whether you have monthly for Clickfunnels or Lead Pages or the annual fee. Okay, but WP Profit Builder, one-time purchase only, and you're set for life. Okay, perfect. Not a problem. You do, however, still need a membership plugin, okay, some sort of a membership system to run a members page properly and lock down the content, and you have to set that up and configure that manually. And if you purchase Wishlist or some of the other premium WordPress membership scripts, they can cost anywhere from from I don't know, like $60 to a couple of $100 for a license. You do need to still get hold of some sort of split testing mechanism. Okay, now there are some plugins out there that can help you with split testing, but honestly, none of them can do the level of split testing that Clickfunnels can. Period. The end. unequivocal, mostly because ClickFunnels allows you to be able it manages the whole sales funnel intimately and 100%. Even lead pages isn't as good because it's not all the pages are considered seamless. Separate. They're not all integrated together in one sales funnel where you're building the whole sequence of the funnel and they're all interlinked and communicating with one another. Okay, so that's another factor. And then, of course, you always have how much time is it going to take you to get the results that you want. Okay, now I happen to be more anal retentive with my pages. I want my pages to look a certain way. I want the flexibility. Now, the good news is that the Profit Builder editor is very flexible. Okay, and that's where it becomes problematic. Okay, so let's have a look here, and let's go into into a page here on one of my sites. Okay, so I go in here. First things first, this happens to be a page that I want to make into, or is currently, a landing page of some sort. Okay, so I can't actually edit it in the post for WordPress. I do have to go in here, and I also have to tell it to remove certain areas of the default page, like the breadcrumbs, the menu, the top header section, etc. If I want to set a background image, I have to do it over here. I can't actually see it immediately unless I go into the editor, and it also has limitations. I can't have the background centered, it's just left justified. So what happens is that when it becomes mobile responsive and my pages go in and out, everything doesn't sort of sit where I want it to, and that becomes a bit of a pain. Okay, they do allow you to add video backgrounds and all sorts of other stuff. There is retargeting pixels here, which is, I don't want to get into too much here. Okay, so it already has limitations before I've even come into it. Okay, now let's go into the editor. Okay, so I'm going to click on the edit page, and it's going to now take me to a visual editor that allows me to edit my template. Okay, my page as it finally loads here. Okay, so this is me trying to play around with it and start testing it, and immediately you can see that there's a lot going on here on the left hand side. Okay, way too much going on here. They can save templates, load templates, and everything. As a matter of fact, if I go in to the Profit Builder section here where I can set up the default settings for the plugin, one of the most clunkiest things, but I understand why they do it, is that before you can even really do anything with templates, you have to go in here and download or get access to all of their different templates. And you can see here that this is their full range of templates. Okay, they've got frequently asked pages, frequently asked question pages, testimonial pages, coming soon pages, miscellaneous pages, product review pages, etc. Look, their templates are great. There's nothing wrong with them. I love the designs of their templates. They're no better than and no worse than the ClickFunnels templates as far as I'm concerned. As far as aesthetics, lead pages templates tend to be a little bit simpler. As far as their look and feel overall, but again, they're neither here nor there. The theme of the templates is always fairly much the same. It's just what type of offer do you have and what do you want to test. Okay, so we're back here in the editor. Okay, now I can go in and edit stuff in visually. Okay, so I can go in here, I have to click edit. It won't let me just click in there. You can see it loads before I'm actually able to go ahead and do anything. Just click here. Okay, so here where it's got all this verbiage, the verbiage shows up over here on the right hand side, okay, in HTML format. All right, that is, that is okay. You can then click on here, open in WP Editor, and it'll open it up in an editor for you. So you can go in here and change that verbiage and then save the content, and then it'll save the verbiage here. Okay, so already immediately what you're seeing is that I'm sort of held hostage to the speed of my WordPress site. I have to go through quite a number of extra clicks to be able to get into an editor. Now the cool thing is you have the full WordPress editor here, so you're able to just go in here and really modify things as much as you want. But as you can see, even though what I'm showing here right now, looking in this particular way, it doesn't show exactly the same way. So I have to go in there, and I do have to select the appropriate fonts and font family and all of that to make sure that it will show exactly the way I want it to. So let's see, I've made that impact. Let's see if that shows up as impact. Okay, it didn't. All right, so this is what I'm saying. If you start deviating from their default settings, it starts getting very, very complicated. Okay, and if you watch Sean Donahue in his videos, even he jumps in and out of various screens a lot, and it's not as easy to use as everyone's making it out to be, and it's certainly not an OptimizePress killer. Okay, let's just get that straight. You get what you paid for. It does have a lot of potential. Again, if you stick to what the theme, what the template is that you're using. If I go in here and load a template, actually, here, load template from some of the ones that I've downloaded. I could just go in here and do a Facebook giveaway page. Let's bring that in here and see what that looks like. If you use the templates fairly much as they supply them to you, look at that one. That one's I just have problems with it. Okay, and you can see already that the default pages aren't even, images aren't even loading, and whatever else. I've had the issue of where I've had the editor within an editor within an editor, and let's just be very clear. Okay, let's just be very clear here. I am a web developer. I'm a developer. I've developed my own softwares, my own plugins, my own WordPress themes. I've been a developer for over 20 years. I have 8 programmers currently employed and working for me on various products and services, and I find this to be very clunky, very difficult to use, and again, if you start off with a brand new page and a brand new template, you can fiddle your way through it. Just don't try to customize it in any unique way. Stick to the default set things that they've got in there, and you should be okay. You won't mess things up. But I've noticed a lot of bugs. My system wouldn't save the settings that I had saved. I had to end up creating another landing page, etc., etc., and it just becomes just cumbersome. Okay, so again, one of the things that bother me the most about all the people that are trying to cash in on all the launches, they don't actually use the products that they're selling. To be sending out an email saying this is an OptimizePress killer is just really a plain and outright lie. Okay, Sean Donahue does amazing products, and as I'm saying, this is not a bad product. All I'm saying is that it's not an OptimizePress killer, and it is not easy to use. If you want to see how easy Clickfunnels is to use, you can just watch one of my other videos, but I guess I can just go through it quickly again. Okay, look at here. I come straight in here. Here's different funnels I can create. I can go in here. I can go create a funnel, and it'll automatically create the entire funnel. Okay, it'll automatically add my squeeze page, my thank you page, whatever. I can add as many pages to my funnel. They all interlink together. Okay, I don't need to do any configuration of any of the individual pages like I would with WP Profit Builder. Now, if I go into my funnels and just go into one quickly, let's go into this opt-in funnel. Okay, and I just open up, the template in an editor. In this case, it's just going to be a thank you page. The editor is just simple. Look, you only have these few options to the side here. You can go straight in here, change whatever you want. If you want to get more complex with editing it, you can just go in here and then make certain sections, different color, and just affect the margins, and you can get as complicated as you want. But the basic of it is just you just go in there and just edit and just do what you need to do. You can add new sections, add entire rows in here, 3 column, add to page, and then go in here and add a video or featured image or any types of social shares, etc. And you can just build out this page, and you can go as complex or as easy as you want. So as I go into this page and I click here on Open Editor, okay, just look at the difference. Okay, beautiful, clean template, but again, a template is a template. There's so many different templates in Clickfunnels. They all, there's no real difference in the templates between the different systems, to be honest. They just have different ways of being able to edit them. But look how simple this is. You can go in anywhere, edit it. It's immediate. You can make sections bold, underline, do whatever you want. If you really want to get complicated, you can just click on that little editor there, and you can go in here and change the text color, to whatever you want it to be. Okay, see how it's just changing it? Okay, you can just go in there, and that's really cool. Okay, you can go in here and change your name fields. You could just change any element here. Yes, I want instant access now, or I could just just go in here, change the video very quickly. Here's the video embedder code. It's just super quick. You don't like the whole layout of this template? Go ahead, add some columns in there, add to the page, add some elements, different buttons maybe. Maybe you want to add a featured image in here, add to page, and then it'll go ahead and here's an awesome feature, blah, blah, blah. So you can just go in here and just really quickly, and you can see how responsive it is. No HTML knowledge required. You're not going to have things just getting messed up like it can and does with WP Profit Builder. The level of mixing and messing things up gets way higher because they're utilizing WordPress editors and everything to try and give you the flexibility. But as you could see, when I went in there and made changes, it wasn't even showing up on the template, okay, because there was something wrong with the HTML. So look, the bottom line is you get what you paid for. WP Profit Builder, I'm not saying it's not an alternative. Heck, for $37 or however much they're selling it for now, you can go buy it, you can try it out for 30 days or 67 days, and if you don't like it, get your money back, okay? But just know, if you want to be able to truly optimize your sales funnels, you need a split testing program. If you want to have a membership section, you're going to have a membership plugin of some sort. You are bound to WordPress, which has its ups and downs as well, and because it is integrated with WordPress, that makes it a little bit more clumsier. Okay, and that's one of the things that with OptimizePress 2.0 and with OptimizePress is way better than WP Profits theme. Okay. It's way more expensive too. But if you want to go for a WordPress-based solution, there are also a whole host of other plugins that are great to use. InstaBuilder being one that comes to mind, which I've used in my business as well. And there's quite a few other ones. They don't have visual editors. Their templates are as they come. But they're at least easier to get going. With WP Profits Builder, there's just a few little clunky things, and I can't even use it right now for what I want, for one simple squeeze page, just because of the way the way that it handles the backgrounds doesn't work for me, and I can't get the same results that I am looking for from a previous template that I had from another system. I'm not able to replicate that, and that's a problem for me. I'm basically going to be moving it all to Clickfunnels as a result anyway, but I just wanted to, again, give you an idea of what you're up against. And again, a lot of people tend to focus on price, but people, when they focus on price, they do not look at time wasted, what you get out of the system, and the long-term benefits and solutions. I would much rather save myself 5 hours of time and be paying $100 a month than pay $37 once and have a system that I'm going to end up throwing away and not using effectively anyway. And that's just the fact of it. That's the truth of it. Look, I would promote WP Profits theme if I really felt that it was, at this stage, something that I could use in my business, because I'm not going to just promote it just because it's something that I could just get people to buy, and most people won't ask for their money back and all of that sort of stuff. So I end up getting commissions for basically just jumping on the bandwagon and trying to sell you on something. In this particular case, Clickfunnels is a premium product. It is more expensive than some of the alternatives out there, but there is a reason for it, and you have to really be able to be honest and weigh up what your time is worth, and what all the configuration of all these third-party softwares and systems on top of the base plugin for WP Profits theme, the cost of all of that. And at the end of the day, you don't save money, you don't save time, and you have a business that requires a lot more maintenance. So anyway, thank you for listening. I hope my videos are helpful. I know some of them are a little bit repetitive, and that's because I'm just driving home the truth of, as I see it, and I just really want you to have a good overview of what you're getting yourself into if you truly are interested. So please go and sign up for the 2-week free trial of Clickfunnels for as long as it's available. Certainly sign up for it if it's still not available, and try it out for yourself and use it. Just go on the lowest monthly fee if you want, just to play around with it. It's seriously, you've got to treat your online business as a real business, and just the split testing alone and the ease of use and the ways in which you're able to build out complex sales funnels is way beyond anything that you can value or put a monetary value on. Because if something doubles your ROI that you're currently getting just from being able to do split testing, or if something moves your business from 4 to 5 figures to 6 to 7 figures just by being able to create really good opt-in funnels really quickly and be able to test them immediately without any additional configuration and headaches and hiring technical people and additional people, you've got to really consider all of that. So anyway, thank you for listening, and that's it.